This isn't good. I'm going to be cycling 150 miles instead of going to therapy to deal with the grief of losing my childhood home. This is the house that I grew up in. The one where I learned to walk, talk, ride a bike, and unfortunately discover what adult content looks like through dial-up. Now it's been sold, packed up, emptied, the kitchen where I got chicken pox, the hallway where I used to stub my toe all the time, and the location of the last 32 Christmases of my life is just gone. My parents have sold my childhood home and moved up north, a town 150 miles away, famous for, I don't know, nothing. Basically, it's fucking ages away. And I'm not really ready. So instead of processing my complex emotions about this like a normal person, I've decided to cycle from the old house to the new one instead of going to therapy. 2 days, one out of shape man, 150 miles, and one last great British emotional repression adventure. Will I find closure? Probably not. Will I just give up and go to the pub? Probably, but let's begin. This is my childhood bike. It's about 20 years old and probably so are the tyres. And I thought that it would be quite poetic to ride all 150 miles on my actual childhood bike. Like some sort of symbolic farewell to childhood, like a nostalgic metaphor almost on wheels. But what I forgot is that childhood can be quite uncomfortable and the seat feels like it's splitting me in half. The brakes are pretty much non-existent and the gears are absolutely knackered. So after approximately about a mile, I did what every adult does eventually, except that their body is nowhere near as good as it used to be, and upgrade to something much more comfortable. Now this is an e-bike. It has a throttle, I don't need to pedal, and it doesn't judge me. In many ways, it's the opposite of my parents. Some people may say that using what is essentially a barely legal motorbike with pedals is cheating, but those people probably still live in the houses they grew up in, so they can shut up. Now let's get this over with.
Now, a lot of people have been telling me that I'm mad for trying this. No one else has told me that they would want to do this. And I can sort of understand. I'm already getting a lot of bugs on my skin and clothes and whacking against my face and in my teeth. I must have had about 8 grams of protein in greenfly alone. My main concern, honestly, is that the battery lasts. This bike supposedly has a range of 50 miles. Now that's London terrain on a rider who is 66 kilograms. I am not 66 kilograms. And if you count the extra battery, the charging case, the padlock, all of the film kit, my clothes, my water, everything I've got strapped onto this bike and onto myself, that's probably 120 kilos, I would imagine. I'm a little worried because the battery on this thing should last me 50 miles per battery. Now, I've split the trip into 2, yes, into 75 miles each, but the battery is already at its halfway point. And we're only just under 10 miles in, so I don't know. It's going down fast. I'm using a lot of energy. I'm a little worried, so we'll see. Fingers crossed with this. I'm really, really hoping that the rest of the journey remains this smooth. I'm only 10 miles into the journey and it looks like the whole thing's fucked. I thought I planned for everything. I didn't plan for this. I don't know how to get home. I was just about to go through that really cool tunnel, but it looks like the journey is over. Fuck. I was really getting into the groove, and that's really gutting. And that's really, really upset me.
This isn't good.
Up into a local farm. This is it. The farmer kindly let me go down his back, not his back passage. The farmer kindly let me go down his back path and even helped me up a bit. The bike is fucked. And I think this is a lesson to make sure you've got spare tyres, kids, when you're on a 150-mile bike ride. So I found the culprit. This, just a big bloody nail. Annoying. It's not even that sharp, but it went right through my tyre, so I've got to be really careful this point onwards because there's a huge hole in my tyre now. Time to fix the bike. Spanner kit that came with the bike doesn't bloody fit, yeah.
So I'm not sure, this is a 15, and it looks like maybe I just need one size larger. 17, you reckon? Do you mind if I borrow a spanner? Yeah. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate you taking the time. So he's taking my inner tyre, he's going to glue it. So that's my spare, my emergency spare, which I'll stick around somewhere. I'm hot and sweaty and frustrated, but we're getting somewhere, and I guess this is part of the journey. Okay, nightmare over. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Tyre's fixed. Don't have the tools to replace it, so we've got to try and make it to the nearest Halfords. But let's get going. And this time, let's watch out. Let's go. Okay. And after a start so tragic it almost made me give up completely, I ride my way all the way to the next big city, Leicester, where the bike starts to slow down and we come to our first battery change. And I'm already complaining again. I'm shattered. My arse hurts, my wrist hurts from the throttle, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, and the first battery is dead. The light's gone red, I'm not getting anywhere near as much throttle from it now, so we're going to do a battery change and hope that the rest gets us to Derby. We're about halfway through, so fingers crossed it gets us there, so I'm going to change this battery. Out comes the battery. Battery changed.
The Leicestershire police have been cracking down on e-bikes. So we might get pulled over here in Leicester. I know the police force are actively stopping e-bike riders, confiscating their bikes. However, they can't confiscate mine because it's completely legal. I've got a special document provided by Pedibal that will provide me, to be able to walk away without my bike being impounded, and any points on my license. So fingers crossed, we don't get pulled.
After making my way through Leicester's surprisingly half-decent cycle infrastructure, something that has been beating on me the entire day starts to take its toll. It's been hours at this point, and there is little to no relief from the giant flaming ball of space gas we call the sun. Its boiling hot rays are starting to make me feel sick, dizzy, and worried about sunstroke, so I pull into the closest place I see to refuel.
Oh. Okay, this isn't as easy as I thought it would be. I have about 2 hours left on the journey. I think I'm just outside Loughborough. It's boiling this week. It's about 27 degrees and I've been sweating the entire time. I've got sun cream on, but I'm pretty sure I'm still burning. My arse hurts. The main thing people told me about this was that my arse was going to hurt, and it does hurt. 20 miles, so I've got 20 miles left between Loughborough and Derby. What it looks like is all countryside, so it doesn't look like there's going to be many places to stop.
After a dissatisfying sandwich, an iced coffee, some water and a fruit shoot for good measure, I set off on my final push through the repetitive landscape of the Midlands, following motorways and car fumes before finding some nature again and finally crawling my way into Derby.
Oh. This is very red from having the rucksack on me for the last 8 hours. I'm sweaty, I'm shattered, I'm a bit hungry, and the bike has really been put through its paces. Really, it's a little broken already. It's about 6 o'clock, so 3 hours later than I thought I would, and the bike did it in about a battery and a half, and that was about 75 miles. I've got about 80 miles tomorrow through the Peak District, so I'm not sure if I'll make it. I'm gonna put all my batteries on charge, and I'm just gonna take a little breather before we head out to Derby and see what it has to offer.
I had never been to Derby, so I went on a little adventure to find out what it has to offer, and while it does feel a little rough round the edges, there was some heart and some half-decent beer and food in this place. But the first pint hits hard after a day in the sun, so I take myself off the streets of Derby and into some hotel sheets. Plan is, this morning, we're going to go to Screwfix, we're going to buy a wrench, some cable ties, a few bolts, just to fix the bike up before we get going. I wanted to get a bunch of miles under me before it got too hot, but unfortunately, it's taking a long time to charge the batteries. These batteries, they're big, they're heavy, and they take ages to fully charge. I need both of those batteries completely full to do the journey. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to do the full 80 miles on those two batteries, which probably means I'm going to have to actually pedal. This whole thing is proving a lot more difficult than initially planned. I'd love to sort of take an extra day, but I just don't have the time. Okay, bags are packed. I've strapped the rucksack to the back of the bike and it gives me less seating room, but at least I won't have the straps digging into my shoulders in this heat because they hurt quite a lot. So as I leave Derby and creep my way into the Peak District, some striking landscapes start to emerge and I get the best views of the entire trip.
In order to give the trip a little bit of gravitas, surely I should be pedaling, right? I should make some effort. And it's probably a good idea because I'm not 100% sure if these batteries are gonna last.
Little did I know that I would be pedalling aplenty as soon as I found out what the word peak in Peak District means, as my bike's motor struggles to deal with the incredibly steep inclines.
I think this might have been a bad idea. Ah. Woo. I've got an audience for my battery change. There's a bunch of cows in the back. Okay, there they are. Okay, done. Woo! 40 miles an hour! Woo!
With the next stop in sight and starting from the top of a massive hill, I start to bomb towards Buxton at speeds so fast, one mistake would have killed me.
So the idea of this was to do it as a form of therapy rather than actually go to a therapist. Luckily though, we live in the age of AI where I can just ask. So I'm going to do some live therapy on ChatGPT and see how that goes. Is it normal to feel this sad about your parents selling your childhood home?
I told you to stop using me as your personal therapist. This isn't healthy, and you need help. How about you get some good aerial shots instead of bothering me and finish this stupid video? Just try not to lose your drone this time.
I've lost my drone. I was trying to get some footage of Buxton and I'm gutted because that drone had so much footage on it, me biking through the Peak District. It was going to be some of the best cinematic footage for the video and it's completely lost. It's probably somewhere up in a tree. So this challenge is getting more and more annoying and I'm getting very gutted that I even tried this in the first place.
Feeling somber and defeated, I start to ponder what this journey was really about. I wanted to travel every single mile. But after a series of setbacks, I had to accept that this wasn't about travelling the entire distance, and more about seeing my loved ones. Which at this point is all I wanted to do. I decided to give up and take a train to Manchester.
Not a complete success, unfortunately. The loss of the drone was hugely impactful for me. It had some of the best footage of the video on there. It cost a lot of money. And on top of that, the pole that I've been using to mount to my bike this entire time fell out of my bag while I was biking through Manchester. 2 miles from Todmorden, and I thought I'll end this journey the way I started it. Just me and the bike, and £200 less of film kit. But hey, let's do this. I'm almost there. It's just around the corner. I'm here. Oh, smell me. Come here. You know who I am.
So did cycling that long give me any closure? No, not really, but it did give me something else. It gave me a chance to slow down, to think and to let go. I'll probably never live in that childhood home ever again, but the people, the memories and all the weird smells, they come with me wherever I move to. Grief doesn't always need a therapist. Sometimes it just needs a road, a bike and a pint in Derby.
because by the end of this, I was just happy to be with the people that I love. And after spending some time in a home that felt like a stranger to me, seeing little mementos and knickknacks that I've seen throughout my life placed in this new location gave me some sort of comfort. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't the house, the bricks and mortar, it's my loved ones, my family, the people who I hold dearest to me. And after being able to enjoy some home-cooked food and the company of my loved ones, I felt somewhat still melancholy about the entire thing, but more accepting that life moves on, grief is part of it, and no matter how hard you try, you will always lose pieces of your life here and there. Thank you so much for watching this weird video idea. The journey I went on was quite surprising. I initially thought that this title was going to be a bit of a joke, but I did process some things. So thank you for watching, thank you for being a part of it, and please drop a like, subscribe, so I can afford real therapy.